While Abians are basking in the euphoria of having elected, a governor from the Labour Party, Alex Oti, after Olusegun Mimiko of Ondo State, the People's Democratic Party in that state have vowed to challenge the declaration of the governor-elect, Alex Oti, at the Election Petition Tribunal. However, the governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Bishop Sunday Onuoha, over the weekend met with Oti to congratulate the ex-bank chief on his victory at a just concluded governorship poll. The respected Methodist bishop described the emergence of Alex Oti as a new governor-elect of the state, as well as offered him full support to ensure that Alex Oti succeed as governor once he's inaugurated on May 29, 2023. So joining us now to discuss his support for governor-elect of Abia State is Bishop Sunday Onuoha, governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Abia State. So you ran in that election, you're supporting Alex Oti, but the PDP says otherwise. They say they'll challenge this in court. What say you about this?
Well, thank you. I think this is democracy at work. Some are comfortable and many are saying they are in support of Dr. Alex Oti. And if somebody is not comfortable and is not willing to support him, Mr. President has said that those who are not happy should go to court. So I think it is their right to do so. But I believe that Abians have moved on. And people are excited, people are ready to begin a new lease of life. And including the governor of Abia State, Dr. Kezi Bazu, has congratulated Dr. Alex Oti. The two former governors of Abia State, Dr. Ojuzo Carlo and Dr. Teodoji, have all congratulated Dr. Alex Oti. And an average Abian is excited that we have to move on. But if there are individuals who are not comfortable, they should not take laws into their hand. The right thing to do is what they have decided to do. But we need to move on as Abians.
Bishop.
Yes, sir.
After the declaration of Alex Oti as governor-elect, you issued a statement. In that statement, you said, oh, this is victory for all Abians who want change. You even said, oh, the announcement fell on your birthday, and you considered Alex Oti's victory as a birthday gift to you personally. This is most unusual in Nigerian politics. And the question that people would ask is, were you just a placeholder in that election? I don't know whether I'm using the right word. Were you in that election to win it, or you just went there, to divide votes to favor your original candidate, Alex Oti? Because your statement is the most effusive, that we have seen for quite a long time.
Well, thank you. First and foremost, everybody has his own background. First and foremost, and primarily, I'm a bishop and I'm a clergy person. I'm honest and sincere and straightforward. I came out to run for election and went around the whole of Abia and spoke my mind. For any person running for office, you have made an application to be employed by the state. And if the state decides to employ another person and says, it's not yet your turn, then you should be happy and congratulate the winner. A situation whereby we continue to create crises and create problems where they don't exist. And so my business, that wasn't the first statement I issued. The first statement I issued was when there was tension in Abia. There was so much tension when they were waiting for the results to be released. I issued the first statement calling on all Abians to be calm. I made phone calls to basically all the governorship candidates. I am Global Peace Award winner, and that is my primary area of interest, to making sure there is peace. I spoke to all the governorship candidates in Abia, requesting for every person to hold his followers, to hold them so that there wouldn't be crisis in Abia. That was my first statement, and I'm glad it came out. Media houses in Abia carried it. It was in the social media. And at the end of the day, the winner was announced by the referee, which is with the INEC. And the only thing I got to at that point is to congratulate him and request on Abians for us to move forward. And whoever that is willing to contest it in the law court, the person is free to do that. But time has come for us to move on. I mentioned about my birthday because there was so much tension in Abia. And immediately that announcement was made, there was calmness everywhere. And I felt that is a great gift for me, since that day was my birthday.
But Why the question of placeholder was being asked was because you were suspended by your party leading up to the election for anti-party activities, where it was said that you were endorsing the presidential candidate of the Labour Party against your own party. So that's why a lot of people are asking that, were you not just working for the Labour Party before now, and with the declaration you were so quick to issue as a statement, because your party themselves said they didn't have confidence in you because of the conduct?
No, the party ADC never suspended me one day, half a minute, half a second. It is falsehood that rumored, but it's not true.
It was reported in Punch newspaper on the 1st of February 2023.
Well, Punch wrote on the newspaper, but it was refuted. It's not true. Ask the ADC, national body and the state body. I was never suspended by ADC, and that is the truth.
No, so what are you saying as regards this story?
The story is false.
So you are saying Punch was false?
Punch got a report that was, somebody sent message that was false, and it was refuted. Honestly refuted. The ADC has me as their candidate, and I was never suspended 1 second by the party.
Okay. You tweeted 2 days ago. You said the people of Abia and all of us should always ask in every situation, what has God said in this matter? So what has God said about your ambition and about the outcome of the gubernatorial election in Abia State?
Well, still the question, every day nobody has all the answers about God. All of us every day are asking questions, and God is the one who has all the answers. What we all did was to offer ourselves. If every person that has come to serve Nigerians believe that they have offered themselves for service, and Nigerians are the ones that will determine which area and which capacity that they want you to serve. It's unfortunate that we live in a society where you ask somebody, what work do you do? What do you do? You say, I'm a politician. It's politics' job. Time has come for us to make sure that people know that every person seeking for political office must have first address. So if you come to show up and Nigerians feel that this is not what they want you to do for them, get back to your job. That is the point.
Okay.
So God did not say anything?
Well, I'm not God.
Oh, but you said what God has said in the matter.
I said, all I'm saying is that what is it that God is saying? It's a question. It's for all of us to unfold what God is saying in a matter of this nature.
Okay. But what we hear is that, some religious leaders have a direct phone line to God.
Well, for me, as a religious leader, as a man, every day is seeking to know what God has to say in a matter. I cannot, as a human being, claim to know all that God is saying. If I know all that God is saying, He's no longer God.
Okay. Which presidential candidate did you support in the presidential election?
Oh, definitely. I supported Governor Peter Obi. I endorsed him. I felt that, and actually, not even me, ADC came out as a national party and decided that they want to support Peter Obi, and I went by the decision of the party.
But your party had a candidate in that race, didn't they?
No, the party had a candidate in that race, which the party said they parted with him. And I'm not a party, and I did...
you supporting Peter Obi was part of the premise at which they suspended you, because now you're saying they never suspended you.
They never suspended me because ADC made a decision, and I'm not the leader of ADC at the national level. At the national level, ADC had a decision that they are going to support the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, and I'm just a member of the party, so I went by it. And beyond that, I was convinced that the party made the right decision.
Bishop, now that Mr. Alex Otti has been declared governor-elect, when you were campaigning, you were talking about addressing issues of unemployment, security, and those other issues. What are your expectations? I saw your picture. You have visited Mr. Alex Otti. You've issued a statement. You've congratulated him. What are your expectations? And should he invite you to come and serve in his cabinet, will you, take leave of your duties as a priest and, take up that opportunity to serve the people of Abia? By the nature of who I am, I'm already serving Abians. I'm the president and founder of Vision Africa. I have a lot of social and health services that I'm providing in many communities in Abia for 26 years. So I'm not looking forward to any invitation or no invitation by anybody. I'm called by God to serve my people.
I went to Alex Oti to congratulate him and then wish him well as he prepares to become the next governor of Abia State. I believe that act of governance is not easy. He has his manifesto, he has his ideas, and some of us who have our own ideas, our business will be to share with him what we thought that would be helpful to Abians. And we expect him, as when he becomes the governor, to reach out to many Abians. Abia has many people all over the world with great intelligence, great exposure, knowledge, very, very well-known Abians all over the world. He should reach out to all of them, including the former governors of Abia. Reach out to everybody and let's build a solid Abia where everybody will come and develop the community, develop the place. Abia needs help, and that is why I'm playing the role I'm playing. I'm a father to all. I can call everybody, and I can assure you, like I said earlier, when there was tension in Abia, tension between Sunday and Monday, you need to see what was going on in Abia, the high tension. I began to call every governorship candidate, calling everybody to come together so that we don't allow crisis to come into Abia. And that's the role I will continue to play. I have a role carved out for me by God, and I will continue to play it.
Okay, so as you see Abia now, there was widespread jubilation and celebration when Alex Oti emerged, because a lot of people say that things have not worked well for Abia all this while, and they see it as the dawn of something new for them. The question I'd like to ask you is, what were the problems niggling over the years with Abia? Would you say the likes of Orji Uzor Kalu and other governors that had led the state didn't do well?
Let's put it that way. Every person that comes into governance has what he brings to the table. And I believe Orji Uzor Kalu did his own and gave over to Theodoji, and Dr. Theodoji handed over to Dr. Okezi Bazon. I would say that for Alex Oti, he has to appreciate what each of them has done, but we do not expect him. If there were mistakes they made, we don't expect him to repeat the same mistakes.
What are some of those mistakes you
I
think?
I say if there were mistakes they made.
Okay, I'm just asking you your personal opinion. What are some of the mistakes you think they might have made over the years?
Well, I'm not here to assess their governance or their government. I'm here to look at Alex Oti to say, you have your mirror. Look into the mirror and find out what challenges the Abia has had. Why is it there was so much celebration? He is going to be the governor of Abia State.
Let me rephrase it this way. What were the failures you saw that made you step into the ring and run in the first place for Abia?
First and foremost, I didn't step into the race because I felt that everybody was Satan. I stepped into the race primarily because I'm a bishop, I'm a priest, I'm an ordained man of God who has the exposure that I believe that I bring to the table. I went around the whole of Abia doing free medical treatment. When I see the pain and suffering of people in the communities, the primary health care system has a very big challenge. And I felt we must fix the primary health care system in Abia until we make sure that an average woman who is pregnant will go to primary health care facility and receive treatment. Every child that is born should have access to health services. When you go to our educational institutions, primary schools, many of them are in total disarray. I felt that with my experience, we could do something about it. When you go to our rural villages, the network of road to rural villages is in total disarray. You go to Aba, Aba is the heartbeat of our economy. In the southeast, Aba roads are in total disarray. Every person has made his own little contribution. I expect the incoming governor, Dr. Alex Oti, to look at the mirror and see where the mistakes were, not to go and begin to apportion blames on anybody. They've made their own contribution, go and make your contribution. Don't waste your time as a governor beginning to chase rats. Face the business.
Okay. Bishop, before the elections, you were quoted as saying that Abia State is thinking that it needs urgent cleansing. Right. So the question is, what stinks about Abia?
I just mentioned
No, just wait. You know, because this is in the context of why you thought you would go and clean up Abia, right? Is that supposed to be a comment on the performance, specifically, of Governor Okezi Ikpeazu? You need to clarify that. And then secondly, you've talked about Vision Africa twice, some of the things you are doing. If you could tell us a little bit more about that Vision Africa, which you say is your own way of serving the people beyond politics.
Well, thank you very much. When I said that...
Because if you say a whole state is thinking, we would like to know what is thinking there.
Well, thank you. This is why I offered myself. That's the primary reason why I felt that Abia needs both spiritual and physical cleansing. Because a situation whereby you have people crying and weeping, salaries are not paid, is painful. When you
it's not paying salaries.
Well, people say their salaries are not paid, and we know that salaries are not paid.
People say,
yes,
or you know.
And I have seen people crying that their salaries are not paid. And for me, as a clergy, it pains my heart when people are crying that their salaries are not paid. And I expect the incoming governor to pay salaries. The roads are bad. I mean, I'm not expecting him to transform the state within one day, but people want to see things done differently. Like I said, no government can do everything the same time, solve all the problems, but people need to move out from the pain they were experiencing to a new lease of life.
So Ikpeazu inflicted pain on the people of Abia. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't say that he inflicted pain. All I would say is that the people are in pain. If you are hungry, you are hungry. If you are sick, you are sick. And so we have to find a doctor that will provide a solution. That I have malaria and you're a doctor, you could not provide me medicine that can cure my malaria, and you provided me medicine that can cure my malaria, it doesn't mean that you are not a doctor.
So isn't the pain as a result of a failure of government? Did the pain just come from heaven like that, inflicted on the people?
God does not inflict pain on us, since we talk about heaven.
So there must be a man-made cause of the pain.
Well, there are man-made. There are also situations that are beyond human. But as it is today,
so the pain was a spiritual pain?
Well, there are spiritual pain, there are physical pain.
Do you think Abia was in spiritual bondage on this one?
Abia had both spiritual and physical pain. And we must look at it from both angles, because you cannot not address the problem of Abia from both angles. And that's part of what I told the governor-elect. You must look at this problem from both angles.
Spiritual and physical.
Spiritual and physical.
But anyway, for your information, Alex Otie said he's going to pay those salaries. I mean, he said that at his inauguration speech. I mean, no, not inauguration, acceptance speech, I should say. But another question I'd like to ask you is this. You've been able to talk about the fact that you had to do free medical health care services because people didn't get access to medical care. You've been able to talk about the fact that you did a lot for people because you saw that salaries were not being paid. You've said all of these things, all right? The problem a lot of people keep saying is the fact that Abia is in debt. What did you know about the Abia debts before you started running for governor? And what would be your advice to the government?
The indebtedness of Abia is not something that is hidden, and is a public domain. And Abia is not the only state actually that is in debt. We've actually messed up as a nation. When we see how much we are borrowing, and I ask myself, all these things we are borrowing, which generation we paid? It gives me pain. And so I expect Dr. Alex Otie, who himself is a financial guru, to look inward. Let's create opportunity for investors to come into Abia. When investors come in and there is adequate security, investors will come into Abia. And when there are investors, there will be opportunities for employment. And the IGR will grow. I trust him to do better than his predecessors. And I will believe that any governor that doesn't want his successor to perform better than him, something is wrong with him.
If he calls you now to come serve with him, in what capacity would you like to serve?
I wouldn't think I need to do more than I'm doing right now, because
in what capacity are you serving right now?
I'm advising him. That's the same thing that I will continue to do. I advise him. I told him what I think he should do to help Abia. Onuoha is very busy, and I will continue to provide services for my state. I don't need to receive a letter from governor, you're hereby appointed. I think those days are over.
Australia. Talk to us about Vision Africa.
Well, thank you. Vision Africa.
When was it founded? How is it funded? What is the track record?
Thank you. Vision Africa is about 26 years old today. We've done quite a lot of medical outreach in many parts of Nigeria. Over 800,000 people have received our free medical treatment, especially in Abia and other parts of the country. We've had a lot of work in prisons. If you go to our prisons, you weep and you cry over the situation in our prisons. And there are some prisoners, especially in Afara prison in Onuoha, that are writing their WAEC and degree exams just because of Vision Africa. We have quite a lot of services we are rendering to orphanages and providing scholarship to students in various schools, primaries and secondaries, and at university level. And Vision Africa has Vision Africa Radio, 104.1 FM in Onuoha. And we've done our best to provide enlightenment and education to our numerous listeners. And by God's grace, we have funding from donors and friends who love what I'm doing. And I also fund from my own resources to provide help for my people. Right now, I lost my daughter.
As a priest?
You
have resources?
Of course, why not? If 1 naira means a lot, 2 naira means a lot. It depends on how you define resources. Right now, we're building hospital. There'll be 50-bed hospital in my community. Unfortunately, I lost my daughter about 3 years ago, and we're building.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. We're building Agnes Memorial Hospital. That'll be in her memory, and we are aligning it with Southwest Medical City in Dallas because we are bringing the best brains that will come and transfer technology to our people in this part of the world.
Okay, I mean, by default, I want you to know your general assessment of the elections. How many thousand votes did you get? And how was the election in general? What's your read on the election?
My read on
What was your election result in the first place?
I'm not going to talk about election result right here. I'm going to talk about my overall assessment.
You have accepted the result. You have endorsed the mandate.
So
and you are not going to court. Because you are not going to court.
No,
you are not writing petition.
No, we're talking about the result anymore. So we're talking about what is good for the country. What have we learned from what happened? What have we learned? How can we do?
For the sake of context, I want to know how well you were accepted by the people and all of that.
So how well I'm accepted is not
what was the result like? And also, what's your general reading of the election process?
How well I'm accepted or what I believe about it has shown in my conduct and my behavior. And that is to say, what have we learned as a nation? How can we do better as a people? As a people, we must know that whenever we make mistake, we should learn to say sorry. And as an institution we're building, INEC has not performed 100% okay, and we didn't expect it. But there were some errors that we could have avoided. And so we ask ourselves, we come to the table and ask ourselves, how can we do better during the next cycle of elections?
All right. What's your take on the presidential elections?
My take at the presidential election is that there were many Nigerians all over the country came out to vote, and they voted. And many are worried that the votes have not been properly counted.
But INEC has declared the result already, so why are you worried that the votes were not counted?
I'm not the one. I said many Nigerians. If you look at the statistics, go to your opinion pool, go to the social media, go to the people on the street, you hear them saying, some are saying that the elections were not well counted. So if the people are saying that, that's why I'm saying we go back to our own assessment room to ask ourselves, where have we gotten it wrong and where did we do well so that we can improve on it during the next cycle?
Well, the DSS, Department of State Security Services, issued a statement saying that some Nigerians are behaving in a subversive manner, that they want the election upturned. They don't want inauguration on May 29. They will come up with frivolous court injunctions and all of that. What do you say to that? Don't Nigerians have a right to at least say, we are not happy?
Nigerians have a right to say they are not happy. And I also think that there are languages I'm hearing that are not constitutional language, interim. It's not, that language shouldn't even come up at all. Nigerians have conducted elections. Some people have gone to court. We trust, and I want to believe that the judiciary will do the right thing. And whatever it is the outcome of the judiciary, we must accept it and move on. The concept of interim should not even come out from anybody's mouth. Our democracy has come to be. We learn from our mistakes. We move on. Now, the ball is in the court of the judiciary, and we expect them to do the right thing.
Do you think there were any mistakes INEC probably made that, as a participant in the last Abia elections, you want them to learn from?
Well, I believe that when you cast your vote and it's counted, we were told that it will be transmitted immediately. And whatever that happens, that you went back to the old system of collation centers. That was what
so the
we
results
believe.
were not transmitted immediately in Abia?
Well, from the transmission, you have people going to the World Collation Center, local government collation center. We thought we passed through that level of collation center, because those are the areas. I'm not just talking about Abia, I'm talking about generally. You heard there was problem fighting at the local government collation center. You didn't expect such to happen, because that's not what we were told that will happen.
Well, INEC overhyped the adoption of technology, but the law, the enabling law, gives INEC the powers to determine how it transmits results, how it collates. But it was so overhyped. We use technology all time, and that created problems. Big lesson for INEC. Don't overpromise next time. Thank you very much, Bishop Onuoha, for joining us.